They were not set up as deliberate programs. I guess they were created and come about in, I guess rebuilding Varley's. Certainly one that I hold very dear to heart at the moment was introducing a policy of we're going to be open and honest. And at the time, there was some bad news, There was some bad news within the company. There was some bad news we had to go and tell customers too. And it was saying, all right, well, we got to get that out there. How can we fix it if we don't know about it? How can the customers work with us if they don't know about it? So there was a really strong push to overcome that fear of telling bad news. And that's something that I still hold very strongly today. It was a difficult time to encourage that. We had, I guess, come out of an era where people were being punished if it was perceived that it was their problem, or they'd made the mistake, or that they were the ones being punished for it. So your natural reaction then is, well, I'll keep this quiet, so I keep my job, or I don't get in trouble. So you've got to overcome that thinking and get them believing that, okay, well, why is this different? Is he just trying to get me to come out so he can get rid of me quicker? The mechanism I found to do that was actually to find a way where I went, well, if you don't follow this policy, then you'll be punished. So I guess, we had to act on that, if you deliberately went against what I was trying to do, then you'd be punished. And it didn't take long where people worked out that once you did come forward, and we then worked on solving the problem, and everybody went away happier. The other one, I suppose, was, the modern term would be empowerment of your people. But it was about letting people have a say in, what we're going to do. How do we solve a problem? Where should we go in the future? You've got to realise that these people work in particular positions in the company, or they're working closely with the customer. So their knowledge is more intimate than mine will ever be. So I've got to listen to what they've got to say. And then getting these people to be comfortable in coming forward and, expressing their views and not worrying about any pushback against them, or a feeling that they're going to be ignored, but finding that right environment where everybody sort of gets in and has a say, or talks up when they think things aren't right, but it's also appreciating that they've had a say. It's not always going to be followed. We all decide on what way we're going to go forward, and ultimately that comes back and rests with me. So I guess most people have the ability there to to empower their own job. And I found one of the greatest things is being able to get job satisfaction. So being able to feel like you've made a difference and that you make an impact there, and we've created an environment where that occurs. So one of the key things I did at the time was, I didn't look at it as though, yes, we're just going to be successful and we're going to achieve, an X value in the company within so many years. I really turned it around in a different way by focusing on what was our skills we had, and how can we apply those skills out there. And that surprisingly led us into new markets and markets we didn't know much about. So we ended up in a bit of a flip around from what most people do, where they're more intimate with the market and understand the market. We ended up in some markets we didn't understand, but with trying to apply skills we really did know and understand. So we never entered those from a point of view of saying we're going to be this in the marketplace, or we're going to have this much success, or this is our But we entered them going that we've got something to offer this market, so let's just offer it and probably in some respects see where it takes us.